We're in a season where it's a clean slate. Okay. Y'all got to remember, note takers are money makers. So I'm going to assume by faith, I'm going to believe that you have your notebook and you have your pens ready, that you've already been taking notes. Because sometimes we get comfortable. All right. We see a call that comes on every week and we just assume that it's going to be repetition and we don't have anything to get from it. But repetition is key. Repetition is what brings consistency. Okay. So I believe you've already been taking those. We just going to flip the page and we're going to do a new topic. But when she said clean slate, I want you to understand that even with credit, you have a clean slate. So I don't care if your score is a 300, because that can be possible, or 800. Starting today, you're going to have a clean slate. How can I say that in confidence? Because today, no matter what you know, we're always students. So there'll be something, even if you've heard it before, that you'll get more out of today. So every time Brittany does these calls, there's something, even if you've heard it before, that you can get out of it today if you're willing. Okay? So clean slate. You need to know that all a credit score is to allow, it's supposed to show a lender what your habit is when it comes to money. That's all a score is, okay? Am I minimizing the stereotype of a credit score? Yes. Am I minimizing the impact of a credit score? No. Okay? The reason I start off and I tell everyone that I talk to and I work with about that is, and I say credit is king. Credit is king and we're all royalty. So all of us have the authority and the right in kingship. We're all kingship, male or female. So credit is king and it's king for all of us, okay? A score is supposed to dictate your habits with money. That's all it's supposed to do with a lender. But how many of y'all know that life happens? How many of y'all have had life happen to you? I have, okay? So if my score drops, that doesn't mean that I'm bad with my money. That means life happens. So if there's anyone on this call who has a low score or their score is not where they want it to be, I'm gonna need for you to go ahead and clean your slate and understand that all of us deserve and will have good credit, great credit, excellent credit, whatever you want to call it. You're going to be able to keep credit as king so that you're able to leverage it and you're able to add it to what you're learning, even with crypto, even with trade, all of this, because it's all ways where you can make your money make money. Okay. Had to get that. That was just in my shanana today. All right. But what I want you to understand, because credit is we all want to work on it. And if you don't, then after today, you want to work on it. See that Mama Nicole telling you that you want to work on your credit today. Okay. And I'm saying this because credit is king. All right. Credit is king. Credit is what allows you to leverage other people's money. Okay. Because you should have a goal to where you want to be worth a certain amount of liquidity. But you don't want to take your money when you can leverage someone else's money, and at the same time of leveraging their money, increase your score so that you'll get more money. All right. So, but before we even get into credit, I need you to be willing to build new habits. Okay. Because in order, see, we can, I used to repair credit. Okay. I stopped doing it because I didn't want to have repeat offenders, because it wasn't about the money for me. It was about me educating you so that you could do better and be better so that your legacy could be left the way you want it to be. All right. So I didn't like repeat offenders, because if I continued to have repeat offenders, I started realizing that you're not taking the education, and the educational part is what's important, not the score. Because we can fix your credit and get your score to a certain place, but if you can't maintain it, then why did you do it? And then if something happens to the person who is who's helping you, then you're lost. See, that's not how we're able to leave generational blessings. That's not how we're able to leave legacy. You can't pour into your family what Nicole did for you, but you can pour into your family what Nicole was able to deposit into you. Okay? So you got to be willing to build new habits. And in building the new habits, you got to be willing to lose old ones. Okay? You got to be willing to be consistent. So when you start to work on your credit and you start to put yourself in a place to build your score, you got to be willing to be consistent. And then when you have your consistency going, you got to be willing to maintain the good habits that you have now created. Now, why do I say that first? Because just like our chairman tells us, as simple as it is to do something, it is that simple not to do.
That's right.
And as simple as this sounds, this is really what hinders a lot of us in all areas of our life. Because we'll begin to build a new habit. We'll lose consistency of it. And then because we've lost consistency of it, we can't maintain it. So I need you to, again, clean slate. Starting today, we're going to build new habits. And in building those new habits, we're going to be intentional to eliminate our old ones. Then we're going to be consistent in what we're doing, and we're going to maintain the good habits. All right. You need to also, when you think of credit, you need to look at it and think of it and shift your perspective to understand that credit is an integral part of your life. All right. Your score will show your integrity.
Ooh.
Now listen, see, credit, we think of it, we just think of money. We think of credit cards. We think of that's where we go. We think of credit cards, but credit is it's an integral part of your life. It shows your integrity. See, we got to start shifting our perspective. In order for us to deal with credit, and we're going to, I need to deal with your mind. You got to be willing to have a shift in your perspective, or none of this will matter. All right?
All right.
So we got to change our habits. How are we going to begin to start changing our habits? And as Brittany and I continue to do financial education, we'll go more in depth with it, okay? But to begin to change your habits, y'all ready for the B word? Because it's not a bad word. It's a blessed word. You got to begin changing your habits by budgeting. See, now a lot of people don't want to budget because a budget, what it really does is it slaps your reality in your face. Let me say that one more again. A budget puts your reality in front of you. So a lot of times we don't want to deal with it because we feel like if we see it, then it's going to automatically show me what I don't have. No, sir, no, ma'am. Budget is a blessed word. All right. Because I'm believing that we're all like-minded, and we understand that we blessed and highly favored. Right. We understand that God keeps his hand on us. But how can you tell me that with confidence when you don't know what's going in and what's going out? Man, I feel like I'm in mommy mode. See, that's why they call me Mama Nicole. They feel like I feel like, oh Lord, I'm trying to be right.
Go down.
Okay. But this is the thing, because we talk about it, but how can I really say that if I'm not tracking what's coming in and what's going out? Sometimes we've mastered how to rob Peter to pay Paul so well that we think we got it going on and we don't. But somebody type in the chat, clean slate. Somebody type in the chat, clean slate. Because see, what we gonna do today is we're gonna understand these things, and we're gonna understand. See, Mama Nicole don't come get pow-pows and not pick you back up. That's not what I do. Jesus, look, God chastises the ones he loves, but what he does is he picks you back up. Not only does he pick you up, he dusts you off and he covers you. So we family, all right? I want to see you have the best that you can have. So I got to keep it 100 at first. All right.
Let's go.
We got to keep it right. So I need you to shift your perspective about a budget. Okay. So if you have a problem with budgeting, do what you got to do to make it fun for you. All right. Listen, when I write mine out, when I write out my budget, and anyone who sit with me know, I color code mine. See, I color code mine. Why do I do that? Now, one, is easy on the eye, because see, when you keep doing it, then it becomes a habit and you're able to point out and see what you need to see. But see, budgeting was hard for me initially. So I had to make it pretty. I had to make it, see, because our five senses, I needed to have my eyesight. It had to be pretty to me. Y'all know how it is when somebody walk by you and they look good. All right. You want to look again. I love my husband. Look, he told me it's the second look that gets you in trouble. All right. But my eyes are my eyes. Something pretty is just pretty. So budgeting was hard for me initially. So I made it pretty. I made it something that I wanted to do. All right. So you got to start shifting your perspective about budgeting. You got to tell yourself that you're budgeting for your wealth. Okay. Perspective. How are we looking at it? I'm not writing this down and then feeling defeated. No, if you do your budget and you're in a negative, God, I'm so happy and grateful now that the overflow is on its way.
That's
Teach
right.
me how to be a good steward over the things that you have for me. That's what we got to do. We shift our perspective. Some of us may be blowing bags because we can't even get to the foundation of what's going on in our home. We got to see it. Then when we see it, our prayers become more specific. All right? Our gratitude becomes more specific. Doesn't David Imonitie say that he didn't hit his million till he wrote it down? He didn't hit his million till he spoke it out. See, he ain't just writing stuff. He is dealing with facts. Okay? He had to see what wasn't there to be able to write it down, to speak those things that are not as though they are. Man, Lord, I'm getting hot. All right. So, to change habits, budget. We got a budget. We got to start there. All right? I'm saying this because you need to have your foundation laid. Your foundation got to be solid. We're not building houses on sand and stony ground. We're going to have a firm foundation, okay? So budget. Y'all don't budget. Y'all got to get that. It's a blessed word. We're budgeting for our wealth, okay? If you budget now, then it's so many things that we can tweak and make better and add to it, okay? The second thing that I want you to do is you got to do your due diligence and you got to research about credit. You have to educate yourself. See, Brittany talked about the vision that I have, and it's meal plan. It's the acronym, meal plan for mindset, education, accountability, and lifestyle. We got to deal with our mindset with everything that we do. Then we have to educate ourselves. So when we're dealing with credit, you got to do your due diligence and you got to research it. Because everybody talks about credit, but that don't mean that everything that everyone say is facts. Okay? You don't want to be ignorant when it comes to the things of you. I also need you to keep credit in its right perspective. Credit is a tool. All right? You got to start looking at credit as a tool, and it's just an extension of your income. Credit doesn't control you. It doesn't run you. It is a tool that can benefit you. We got to put credit in the right place, just like you got to put money in the right place. Money is just a tool. The dollar bill is just a piece of paper. It's a piece of paper that come off the tree, just like this piece of paper that I write on in this book. All right. We got to keep it in its proper perspective. The value of money is based off of what is written on it. Okay. That's what makes it valuable. But at the end of the day, it comes from the tree. Same thing with credit. Keep credit in its right place. All right. Your goal for wanting good credit is it's a money saver. See, when your credit is where it's supposed to be, you're able to save money. So if you already feeling like, well, B, my crypto portfolio don't look like yours because I don't have what you have. Well, let's get your credit right. Because when you get your credit together, you're able to leverage more things and you'll have more liquidity. You'll have more money that you can put into these accounts. See, everything works together. All right. That's why education is key. The A in the meal plan is accountability. That's why we're coming on here and we're doing these things. If you can deal with your mindset, educate yourself, and keep a healthy accountability pool and team around you, everybody should have a money team. Everybody should have a money team. All right. Just like there are love languages, there are financial languages. You need to know what you are. Madam Money wrote a book on it about the financial love languages. Tara Jackson, that's my own girl. We do a lot of things for when it comes to credit and money together. All right. But you got to know these things and you got to have a money team. I have an accountant. I have a financial advisor. I have someone in my life that's a saver because I'm a spender. See, you got to know what it is, and you got to have these people around you. I got some people that sow money into me. I got some people that take money from me, okay? But you always have that accountability. And even though my business, it may not be to the level that I know it's going to be, I already have an accountant in place. So you got to build your money team, okay? That's the accountability. When we do these things, your lifestyle got to show it. David don't have to go tell nobody what he got. His life shows it. His lifestyle shows it. All right? That's the vision, okay? So, but the biggest thing I want you to know with credit is it gives you more buying power, okay? I need you to shift your perspective. I need you to think bigger and higher when it comes to your credit. We're not trying to get our credit right so we can get a credit card with a $20,000 limit so that we can say that we got it. No, we're getting our credit right so that we can go and we can buy this land right now as they clearing out fields and they selling the land for $30,000. We going to buy the land so that when we get our score where we need it to be, we can go to the bank. See, we gonna use our liquidity to buy the land. That's the asset of it. Then we'll go to the bank and we'll use the bank's money to build our house. Okay? Because why am I gonna do that? I'm not gonna take $500,000 because my house gonna be at a minimum $500,000. All right. I'm not gonna take $500,000 of my cash money when I can go to the bank and take theirs because I own the land. So even if life happens to me and USAA try to take my house, you can take my house, but you can't put nobody else in it because I own the land. It's a whole nother day, whole nother topic. So I need you to put in your mind and understand that credit, why we want it, your why with credit is because you want more buying power. You want to be able to be freed up and be limitless in the way that you can invest, in the things that you can do. You want to become educated where you allow those lines of income and streams of income to where they can benefit you. You get your score up high enough, you get a credit a credit card for $30,000, they got a 0% interest rate. You can go buy a car. You can go buy a car and it's still helping you because your debt to ratio is still healthy and you're paying it on time every month and your score just going up. I need to shift your mindset on credit tonight, okay? I need to shift your mindset on credit. Now, what I want you to know about credit is there are 5 primary categories. And some of you all may know this, but note takers are money makers, so write it down anyway. All right? 5 components. It's your payment history. It's the amounts owed. It's your length of credit history. It's the type of credit that you use. And it's your new credit. Okay? 5 categories. Payment history, amount owed, length of credit history, types of credit used, and new credit. Now, because there are 5 components, that's why you could have a 640 score. I could have a 640 score, but what I need to do to increase my score and what you need to do can be different because it depends on how we score in those 5 categories. All right? So don't look to the person to the left or the right and worry about what their score is. We gonna worry about what your score is because what they may need to do might not be what you need to do. That's why I don't like to have conversations with people when they're like, how can I boost my score? I'm not even willing to answer that without looking at your credit report because what I may tell Brittany may not be what I tell Cliff because what he needs may not be what she needs. Okay? So the 5 parts. Now for the payment history, it's 35%. It's 35%. So out of that 850 score, payment history can give you a total of 192.5 total points. So every month, because you got to remember, credit is reported in a 30-day cycle. Okay? So your biggest part is payment history. So a lot of people will say, well, Nicole, I pay my bills on time and my score ain't going up. And that's the biggest part. You're right. But let's talk about the second biggest part. That's the amount owed. That's 30% of that pie. That gives you 165 total points out of this 850. So I understand that you pay your bills on time, but is your credit card maxed out? If your debt to ratio, if the amount you owe is too high, your score gonna go up a little bit because you paying on time. But I need you to pay on time and I need your balance to be low. You want to have at least 70% of your available balance available all the time. So if you have a credit limit of $1,000, you want to keep your balance below 300. Okay? You're not at a place yet where we utilizing credit and credit cards to build wealth. We got to get the score up first. Because see, when you get your score up, then your balances go up. So if you got a $10,000 credit limit, then that gives you $3,000 to be able to spend. Okay? But we gotta get the concept, we gotta get the foundation, we gotta get the habit in place. This is why people can build credit with a $300 credit limit. The lenders are not looking at how much you have as far as your credit limit. They're looking at your behavior, remember? So if they give you $300, can you keep your balance at $60? And it's even better if you have it 90% available. So if you got a $10,000 credit limit, can you be disciplined enough to keep it under $1,000? That's what's going to make your scores shoot up. But so we got payment history, 35%. You can get a total of 192.5 points. You got amounts owed, which is 30%. That's 165 total points. Then you got the 15%, which is your length of credit history. That gives you 82.5 points a month. This is why it's not always good to close accounts out. See, some people want to close out a line of credit because they done blew it up and they done went over the credit limit, and you know how they give you a little credit card. You got $300 credit limit, and it's showing on your credit report that the highest limit was $500 because y'all wasn't paying on time. And then they start see everything is a game. When you learn how to play the game, you learn how to win. So credit is a game too. Okay. So they give you these cards. They're called subprime cards. They give you these cards with these high interest rates. You just happy you got a credit card. All right. So then you blowing it up. But this is what they do on the subprime. They usually don't have grace periods. So if your payment is due on the 10th, and then what they don't tell you is they little payment system cut off at 5 p.m. So when you at home, like, oh dang, my bill due today, and y'all trying to put the bill in at 11:58, and you still get hit with a late fee. See, now they gonna hit you with a late fee and an over limit fee. So now your little $20 payment done got ate up because they done charge you $35 twice. And now you owe them $50 more. But so now we mad. We give them the whole $300, well, the whole $500 because credit limit was $300, but you done put it up to $550. You pay them off and you want to close the account.
Thanks.
That's not always a good thing. Okay. All right, babe. That's not always a good thing because you have to remember 15% of your credit is based off the length of history. You do better to keep it open and build new habits. Okay? Because over time, it can and it will correct itself. And there are other things that you can do. So you begin to even take that and you allow it to be beneficial and you utilize it in your favor. Another class, another day. All right. New credit. That's 10% of the pie. And you can get 55 total points. New credit. What is new credit? It's things that you're just opening up. All right. New credit. And then you got a type of credit mix. Okay. That's 10%. And that's a total of 55 points. Now, this is for the FICO score. Most lenders use a FICO score, but the two largest algorithms that are used is FICO and Vantage. Okay, it's FICO and Vantage. So for Vantage, I want to give you these percentages. I don't have it broken down in points. I didn't break it down, but I'm going to give you Vantage scores because sometimes, like when y'all are using Credit Karma, Credit Sesame, all these different things, it may say that your score is one thing and then you go apply for something and you denied and it's off. But this is why, because these are algorithms, all right? So for the Vantage, for the payments, it's 41%. For the amounts owed, it's 20%. Your length of history is 20%. Your mix is 20%. And your new credit is 11%. And then the Vantage score has two additional things that they use in their algorithm. It's balance, your balances, which is 6%, and your available credit, which is 2%. So I'm gonna say that again. For Vantage scores, your payment history is 41%, amount owed is 20%, your length your mix is also 20%, your credit mix. Your new credit is 11%, and they've added your balances, which is 6%, and your available credit, which is 2%. Okay. But like I said, major lenders, car dealerships, home mortgage loans, even your car insurance, like all these people pull this stuff now. Majority of people use FICO. Okay. So now I want you to know, because to me, there's no perfect mix. There's no perfect look of what a credit report should look like. But a good mix that you will want to have to have you like in the about 740 and above is 3 to 5 credit cards, 1 auto loan or 1 personal loan, and 1 mortgage. When you start getting in the 700 club, the 740 club, because see, once you get to 740, because good and excellent, you just FYI, y'all, see, everybody will be like, I want an 800 score. Just so y'all know, if you on the high end of good, you get the same interest rates as excellent. So don't be beating yourself chasing a number. You need to be intentional to look at what interest rates you're getting. Okay. If you just want to be in the 800, you just want to be able to say you have excellent credit. But at the end of the day, good credit on the higher end gives you the exact same interest rate from lenders, okay? But on a good mix, there'll be no consumer finance accounts, okay? That's like if you have like furniture stores, payday loans, things like that, title loans, all that. No consumer finance accounts are usually on credit reports where it's affecting your score. All right. So you don't want those on there. If you good to excellent credit usually looks that way on a report. They're open, revolving, good paying lines of credit, 3 to 5 credit cards, 1 auto loan or personal loan, 1 mortgage. Because even saying that, like I told you, you got to remember your credit report is supposed to tell a lender how you are with your money. That sounds like a responsible person. They a homeowner. They ain't got a whole rack of cars that they paying for. They may have a personal loan, but they credit good enough. So that could have been home improvements or anything. See, a lender will start thinking positive about this person, and they don't have a slew of credit cards. 3 to 5 shows you're responsible, okay? So when you start getting 760 and higher, because you got to remember it's a mix, all right? Usually they have like their oldest account is usually about 19 years old. About 19 years old. So pause break for the millennials. For the millennials. Some of y'all ain't even been old enough to have credit for 19 years. I'm just saying. Some of y'all ain't been around that long. But your oldest account matters. So even right now, because millennials be killing it. Y'all drop some fire in the chat for the millennials. Boy, the millennials know how to make money, baby. Y'all know how to make money. Y'all know how to get money. Y'all know how to go get 6 figures without hitting somebody else's clock. Y'all know how to do all of that. I'm gonna need for y'all credit to match. Your credit need to match so that you're able to do more. Okay? I love it when I see young people that are homeowners. I love it because it's something you got to pay for something anyway, but you're building assets, you're building a portfolio for yourself, and you start young because again, 760 and higher, lenders are looking for oldest accounts like around 19 years, all right? The average age of accounts, 6 to 12 years. That means like open accounts. Like it's showing that you've been able to handle and maintain your bills and a good score and all of that. See, they looking for time. All right. We older, y'all. Lenders are older. They don't do microwave fixes. Okay. Millennials, boy, y'all just want these little y'all want microwave fixes, and then y'all put the microwave on for 30 seconds and won't even let the whole 30 seconds run. Y'all stop it at 28. Y'all leave 3 seconds on there. Don't even clear it out. Mentality though, okay? So when y'all think of credit, you got to remember when you're thinking of a lender, most of the time, the lender on the other side is an adult. They've been here for a little while. So these are the things that they're looking for when it comes to credit. All right. Let me see what else I want to tell y'all. That's really the main thing on there. What I want you to know. All right. Most people in the 800 club, their oldest accounts are student loans. So now I got to tell on myself. So us, the Generation X baby boomers, we got good credit. We trying to tell y'all, yeah, y'all need to do this and do that. Because, you know, that's how you get to the 800 club. You need to be doing it like me. Truth be told, them little little student loans that we was forbearing all the time has actually helped us with our credit. Because it gives you that length. And of course, y'all know when y'all in school and we keep forbearing them and all that, you got this excellent credit. Child, we ain't did nothing. But there are things that you can build your credit on and the credit look a certain way and you ain't even got to work hard next week. But I want you to just grasp, and what I'm trying to get y'all to say or see is we can have a clean slate. So if you're discouraged because your score is low right now, it's easy to fix. I'm telling y'all, you can actually boost your score within 90 days. And it does not take a lot of money, all right? But it does take a willingness to build new habits. It takes a willingness of being consistent, and it takes a willingness of maintaining, okay? I mean, literally, y'all, we were successful with our credit restoration company, all right? I mean, successful, over 500 clients. But then, you know, my business partners start getting mad because I start canceling people. Because I told them, like, my heart, it ain't about the money for me. I want to be able to help you so that you can help yourself. And in being able to help yourself, you can help the ones that you love, all right? You're able to do that. And then for the generations after us, when we can educate them, then it makes everything better. Okay? So, what time is it? I'm going to stop right there because Brittany and I'll continue to do these. I wanted to make sure tonight that you were able to just know that you're going to have a clean slate. I want you to know that even in building your credit, I want you to put it in the right perspective. Credit is just a tool, y'all, but you got to keep it in the right perspective, and you got to be willing to lay your foundation right before you start doing this. Because now what I will tell you is when you begin to work on your credit, you got to make sure that you have built new habits, that you're being consistent, that you're going to maintain it. Because I've already told you, one late payment, what is that? Late payments is 35% of your score. So one late payment, you can drop your score 60 to 100 points because that section can give you a total of 192.5. All right. One payment. So you gotta, I'm gonna leave you with this. I want y'all to write this down. Where's my pen? Because this one thing I give my clients homework. Hold on one second. But this is what I want you to, if you have right now anything on your credit that's open and revolving, these are the things that you need to know for yourself. And then let me go in here. Let me pull my notes up real quick. With your credit, you always want to know your due date. You want to know when your billing cycle ends while I'm looking for this, okay? You always want to know when your billing cycle ends, because the balance that's reported to your credit is not what you owe on the date that you pay it. It's whatever your balance is at the at the end of your billing cycle. All right. I can't find the note. It's all right. But you want to make sure that you know your due date. You want to make sure that you know your bill cycle end date. That is so important. Okay. You also want to know when they actually apply a late fee. And you want to know what credit bureaus they report to. Okay. So your due date, your bill cycle end date, the day that they hit you with a late fee, so your grace period, and who they report to. And the reason you want to know that is because if you have to use your credit card, so let's say that your car break down and you need to go buy an alternator, and your alternator is going to max your credit card out. But your bill cycle, so it's the 10th. Your bill cycle ends on the 12th. Then what you want to do is you want to wait till after the 12th to make the purchase, so that the balance that is reported, because you got to remember, it only reports once every 30 days minimum. Okay. Some don't even report every 30 days, but minimum, it's the 31st day. They can't report before that. So you want to wait till after your bill cycle end date closes to go ahead and charge it up, because then that gives you a month to at least drop down your balance to what it was at the bill cycle end date, so that it won't make your score go down. So you gotta, every open revolving credit, all right, know your due date, your bill cycle end date, your grace period, when do they add a late fee, and who they report to. It's important to know when they add a fee, because you might not be able to pay on the due date. But if you're due on the 10th and your fee hit on the 15th, make sure you make the payment before the 15th. Okay? These are just little things, because you got to remember, you want to make sure that you eliminate, you can control the things that are reported. How about that? You can. And that's how, as we learn and we get the foundation right, this is how you can start utilizing credit to your advantage. This is how people can be unemployed and they're living off their credit cards, yet they keep a good credit score. You got to learn the game. When you learn the game, you can master the game. But I don't teach the game for you to manipulate the game. All right? I don't want you to go and manipulate a system, but I want you to be educated so that you can do the best that you need to do with your credit.